What is up, my fitted collectors? It's just Fitteds, man. We're back with another video. So early on this year, I did a video about Rerocks and Redrops, and I thought I would make a part 2 to this video because, man, the controversy is, of course, back up in the fitted community. You know, if you're an active fitted collector and you're following all these stores and all these other fitted collectors and fitted designers, you know that there's been a little bit of drama going on in the fitted community to where it's brought up the whole conversation about Rerocks. Now, again, if you haven't seen my first video, please be sure to check it out, but I'll go over it real quick just what Rerocks are. Rerocks are pretty much where a store drops a hat that another store previously came out with or another designer previously created. Sometimes that hat is exactly the same as it originally dropped, and sometimes the colors are a little bit different or something like that. So the whole controversy pretty much is like, I feel like, so with a lot of fitted creators, fitted collectors, there are started to design hats, and they feel like if they design these hats and they put all this time into these hats, another store should not be able to come out with that same hat. But once it's in the new era catalog, it's in the new era catalog, and you know, there's really no way to change that, really no way to go about that. How do I personally feel? Now, I gave my opinion in that very first video, but I just want to reiterate just a few things. You know, of course, like if a fitted designer like myself that's designed a few hats, if I came out with a friends and family hat only for a specific people, and it only has a decent amount of quantity, then, you know, I want those certain people to get those hats, and that's it. Now, I do get that in that aspect. I totally get it. I don't think Rerocks are 100% fair, but then again, you have to look at it like this. New Era doesn't know that they're F&F, you know? New Era doesn't know that they're friends and family, and if it comes out of a different store, it comes out of a different store. But of course, like, if another store comes up with a friends and family hat that I've designed or something like that, like, yeah, I'll be a little bit disappointed, but two, I'll be kind of happy that more people are able to get it that wasn't able to get it the first time. But I do know the emotions behind coming out with a hat that means so much to you, and you only want your true friends that you spoke with, people in the community you spoke with, that just want that hat, and that's it. You know, like, I totally get that. And but for example, I came out with a Frank Thomas hat, and that hat sold out. So a few decent amount of people weren't able to get the hat that I would have liked to get the hat. If another store came out with that hat, to be honest with you, I would be super happy because I can get people that didn't get the hat before, hopefully that I can get them that hat, or they'll be able to get that hat from that specific said store. Now, I put it like this, man. When it comes to like shoes, you know, shoes come out in multiple different locations. I feel like it's kind of getting that way with hats. Like hats, like, for example, I've seen toppers come out with hats that Hatclub has dropped years ago. But two, if you're new into the community, you don't really know that that hat dropped at a different store years ago. So in that aspect, people don't really pay attention, I feel like. But of course, like, if a hat recently came out 2 months ago and then it came out at another store, of course, like, you'll know right away, like, oh, did so-and-so drop this hat before? You know, like, in that aspect, I completely get it. But man, like, you can't really stop it. Like, it's just what's gonna happen. Like, it's the hats that are in the new era catalog. If they're in the new era catalog and the store feels like this said hat will bring them money, they're gonna go ahead and re-rock it 100%. Now, I do feel like, now here's my alternate opinion on this. I do feel like with Rerocks coming out, and like Redrops coming out, that kind of took away the I feel like that took away like the panic in the community. I feel like it took away, so like early on when I was collecting, man, like I used to be in search of all these hats, and I used to be super excited to go searching for these hats. I feel like that kind of changed now, and that kind of changed within the community as a whole, because like, you know, those hats are going to drop at a different store, you know, those hats are going to come back. So that little panic that you used to get when trying to look for a hat, it's just not there anymore. And that happens, you know, like things within the community change, and that's totally fine. But I can honestly say I do miss that aspect of it, of not knowing if this hat is ever going to come out again. But I will say, for example, Myfitteds every once in a while. Well, I feel like that kind of started just this year. The owner, John Jay, he started coming out with hats that he's came out with before. At first, he didn't do that. And still, there's still a lot of hats to where he's not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And even if he does come out with the hat, it's a different variation. It's going to be a 2.0. It's not going to be like the original drop, which I think is kind of cool to a certain extent, you know. But like, if it's a hat that I've really been looking forward to redropping, and it comes out a different color, brim color different, UV different, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. But two, that brings the exclusiveness in that first hat and trying to find that first hat, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of miss that. I kind of miss when hats were super exclusive and super hard to find and not to be, I mean, but still nowadays, like outside the fitted community, you really won't see people with the kind of hats that you have at all. So really, is it really exclusive? You know, like it's exclusive within a community, but outside the community, I feel like people don't really care about the kind of hat you have on, compared to like shoes. Like when you're wearing certain exclusive shoes, most people notice because the shoe community is humongous compared to the hat community. And maybe one day the hat community will get like that. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it really would be dope if the hat community does get as popular as the shoe community. But still, not a lot of people are into hats, not a lot of people wear hats. Some people think, you know, $55, $65, $60 is too expensive for a hat. But then again, you know, look at the shoe prices right now. I remember when Yeezys used to be like 160, 170, 180. Now they're like 210, 220, 230. Same thing with Jordans. And granted, I'm not a real big shoe collector, but I'm just noticing the price change. But of course, everything is spiking up nowadays. That's just life right now. But two, back on subject as far as the hats, man. I do miss the exclusiveness of the hats, most definitely. I feel like a lot of people do. I think that's one of the main reasons that people don't like Rerocks. But also too, you do have the resale market. You know, the resale market has changed drastically. You know, hats that used to resell for like $200, $300 don't resell for $200 and $300 anymore. Why? Because those hats have dropped numerous times at different stores. The same exact version. Some might be slightly different, some might be the same, but like I have noticed like the resale market, and I think as far as resellers, it's really hitting them hard. And I think that's the part of the community that's really taking like a big effect, and that's really they're super opinionated about anything Rerocks, because is ruining all their resale value. It's ruining their raffles. If they do raffles for hats, they can't fill up raffle slots like that like they used to, because this hat has dropped numerous of times at different stores. Really, the only thing that's kind of keeping certain drops kind of exclusive is the stock amount. You know, if the stock amount is limited, I feel like that keeps the hats a little bit more exclusive nowadays, but not more so if the hat's gonna redrop or not. Now, so, but yeah, so that's pretty much all I really wanted to add to that. To be honest, like I do miss that a bit. Like that made the community more fun, and a lot of people really won't be able to experience that. And it is what it is. But hey, today on my head, I have on the Berdeen's unreleased White Sox Rookie of the Year. This is going to be dropping, I believe, when Berdeen's does a grand opening of their new physical location in Chicago. But yeah, I've worn this hat before, but I love this hat. This hat's really dope. But yeah, man, Redrops, Rerocks, regardless to say, bro, it's just hats. I find it to be just hats. Like I of course, I'm involved in the community. I enjoy collecting hats, etc. But at the end of the day, man, as long as you're happy, as long as you get the hats that you want, I feel like that's the thing that matters most. We have to get back to the love of the community and not just all this hostility. It's kind of unnecessary, man. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your day. Hope you guys understand my opinion. I want to hear your opinion too, man. DM me on Instagram. Put a comment. I'll comment back, like it, etc. But you guys have a good day. Peace.